Welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Quartz Back to School BOGO is here for a limited time, Thursday 25th to Saturday 27th August. Buy one item and get a second item at up to 50% off. And with ready finance, you can shop today with no cash. It's BOGO. Buy one, get one up to 50% off. But 3 days only, Thursday 25th to Saturday 27th August. Only at Quartz. Conditions apply. See in-store for details. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. Minister of Agriculture Sabatu Caesar, while discussing the progress being made at the La Croix Food Terminal, with a market of $20,000 in Dasheen shipments being secured for farmers in Maracua and surrounding areas, also disclosed that over the weekend, the SVGTT Food Terminal Market was launched. Minister Caesar said the launch took place during his visit to Trinidad and Tobago for the second Regional Agri-Investment Forum and Expo. He said that the food for this food terminal market will be provided by La Croix Food Terminal. We hear more from the Agriculture Minister.
On the weekend when I went to Trinidad and Tobago and attended the AgroFest 2020 and Investment Forum with the Honorable Prime Minister, we were able to launch the SVG TT Food Terminal Market. Nice. And the food for that food terminal market will be coming also from LACWA. So LACWA will be exporting food to Trinidad and Tobago, to Miami, and this afternoon I heard that they now have another link with St. Thomas. So when you hear people speaking about the hard work and dedication of stakeholders, we are ensuring that we find markets for the farmers. And there are many young persons there when I looked at the line, and persons were collecting the $5,000 in cash, the $3,000. One farmer even got about $8,000.
That was the Minister of Agriculture, Sabatu Caesar, speaking on Star FM. The second Regional Agri-Investment Forum and Expo, hosted in Trinidad and Tobago, aims to raise awareness of the importance of food security in the region, improving productivity and value chains in the agriculture sector, as well as creating investment opportunities for local and/or regional producers, among others. Approximately $2.3 million have been earmarked to facilitate upgrades to the Allinsville Sporting Complex. A signing ceremony was held on Tuesday, August 23rd, at the National Sports Council between K Electric Company Limited, Bronx Design and Construction Services Limited, and the Government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to carry out the renovations. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Raymond Ryan, explained that the completion of repairs will enable the facility to host local, regional, and international games in an effort to generate additional revenue. Minister of Public Service, Consumer Affairs and Sports, Frederick Stephenson, said Arnersville has one of the best cricket grounds in our region. Therefore, the grounds must be maintained with certain upgrades to meet international standards. Renovations are expected to begin in September of this year. Still in local news, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves will formally take ministerial responsibility for post-secondary and tertiary education. The Prime Minister, during an interview on VC3's Roundtable Talk, discussed the new change, saying that most of the Education Ministry will still be the responsibility of the Minister of Education, Curtis King. We hear more from the Prime Minister Gonsalves.
Curtis King will still have the bulk of the educational system, childhood education, primary, secondary, technical and vocational through the technical institutes and technical centers, adult and continuing studies, matters touching and concerning special education. So that's a large area.
Prime Minister Gonsalves said that while there has been significant progress made in the areas of post secondary education and tertiary education, he believes that more can be accomplished if a different level of focus is applied.
What has been happening is that post-secondary education, the community college, and tertiary education, while we have made immense strides, we can do even more if we have a particular focus on them, and that's absolutely necessary and desirable. In the build of a modern, competitive, many-sided post-colonial economy, we have to provide more skills for this transforming enterprise called the post-colonial economy. And therefore, we need to have more people coming out, more young people coming out from community colleges and universities across the world in diverse areas to contribute to the further development of our economy and our society and our civilization.
During an August 16th press conference, Prime Minister Gonsalves announced that he would shed the portfolio of Foreign Affairs and International Trade and take up ministerial responsibility for post secondary and tertiary education. Senator Kisal Melissa Peters will be sworn in as Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade on Friday, August 26th, 2022, at 10 a.m. at Government House. On to regional news. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says that he'll be instructing Finance Minister Combe Imbert to include in the upcoming 2023 budget a separate and special payment for every member of the Ministry of Health for their efforts during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at a PNM meeting at the Belmont Community Center on Tuesday night, Dr. Rowley said while he did not inform the finance minister of the decision yet, one had to understand what it means to be in a position of responsibility where death is the outcome and yet people buckle down to stay in the same rooms and fight for patients' lives. He said, I know what it is like, so I am brooking no objection from anybody who tells me we can't do that. We are going to do it as we can afford to. Dr. Rowley further noted it wasn't to say government didn't recognize what other workers did, but those who walked the extra mile and had the extra exposure rose to the occasion, and the health services were there for the people. Still in regional news, Jamaica's Education and Youth Minister Favour Williams has agreed in principle with a call by the opposition People's National Party (PNP) for improvements to be made to staff rooms and other infrastructures at public schools locally. I have no quarrel at all with any call for us at the Education Ministry to upgrade the staff facilities at schools, and we will continue to do that within the constraints of the budget that we have, said Williams. She was speaking at the ministry's press conference on Monday to address several issues regarding education, including teacher migration. Last week, opposition spokesman on education and training, Senator Damian Crawford, called for immediate investment in the upgrading of school staff rooms to create an adequate and comfortable environment for teachers to work from. In addition, he called for the ministry to address the poor and insufficient infrastructure at several schools across the island. On the international scene, South Korea has again recorded the world's lowest fertility rate, with the number sinking to a new low. The rate in the country first dropped lower than one child per woman in 2018. But on Wednesday, figures released by the government showed the figure had dropped to 0.81, down 3 points from the previous year, and a sixth consecutive decline. In comparison, the average rate across the world's most advanced economies is 1.6 children. Countries need at least 2 children per couple at 2.1 rate to keep their population at the same size without migration. Fertility rates have declined markedly in the past 6 decades, says the OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And finally, in sports, Manchester United signing Casemiro says he is the happiest man alive after joining the club and is excited to play alongside international teammate and great player, Fred. The Brazil, the Brazil midfielder arrived from Real Madrid this week in a $70 million pound deal. The 30-year-old was presented at Old. Let me take that again. The 30-year-old was presented at Old Trafford prior to the 2-1 victory over Liverpool on Monday. The victory came after back-to-back defeats at the season start, with Fred criticized by some fans. Casemiro is also reuniting with Cristiano Ronaldo and Rafael Varane at Man United, with the three having played together at Real Madrid. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News came to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Quartz Back to School BOGO is here for a limited time, Thursday 25th to Saturday 27th August. Buy one item and get a second item at up to 50% off. And with ready finance, you can shop today with no cash. It's BOGO. Buy one, get one up to 50% off for 3 days only, Thursday 25th to Saturday 27th August. Only at Quartz. Conditions apply. See in-store for details. Quartz, bringing value home.
For over 20 years, Cubano Limited professionally delivers top quality products and exceptional service. Located in